very significant. It is very necessary. It is something that I think as a stakeholders in the Zimbabwean elections should actually welcome because we are foreseeing ZEC beginning to say come together. Let's point the areas where we think we have got grey areas. Of course, benchmarking the 2023 harmonized elections. I think it is an opportunity. We have been crying about reforms instead of us shooting everywhere and anyhow. This is a platform. We have seen the Ministry of Justice committing that they are ready to, of course, incubate and take forward the recommendations of this post-election review high-level meeting. And we have seen the chairperson of ZEC committee. We have seen the CEOs of ZEC. We have seen, of course, various key stakeholders showing positivity, actually positive energy to say, please let's talk. We have political parties, opposition political parties in the House. We have got civic society organizations, in particular observer missions. We have got reflections from even the diplomats. We have got a number of stakeholders. We saw the president of the Council of Chiefs. It speaks to the broader stakeholder, and it's an opportunity. Personally, I think this is the time to speak, to package our message about reforms and be able to track and trace progress than to be lobbying continuously. Thank you.
But some would say that this is not fairly represented specifically because maybe the major or the main opposition player is not represented here. And some are also even saying they're not even invited. But there's probably maybe a quasi-representation of that of that facet. Does this really speak to a general input of the people when it's like that?
If we choose to be petty, then things will look so petty. I have seen the CCC in the House. I have seen the MDC in the House. I have seen the other candidates like our own female candidate in the just ended, of course, 2023 harmonized elections, Madam Elizabeth Valerio in the House. And if someone wants to choose to say that political parties are not represented, who else is not represented? Because I, for one, I know, of course, people are dragging this issue of Nelson Chamisa. Nelson Chamisa is a man of God, he declared. I don't know why people still want to roll him back into this space. I think he's
but he was a presidential contestant in the last election, and his voice matters because we are speaking of a past election that we came from. Surely his voice matters, and also his members of parliament that probably won a majority of the opposition votes. In fact, all of the opposition votes were won by his political party.
Okay,
doesn't he matter?
Let me take you to this. The reason for this post-election review is actually to correct what we think needs to be perfected ahead of 2028. We are talking about the presidential candidate who is retired from politics. We are speaking to people, these representations, the MPs.
Some would say he retired from his political party and what was going on, and he's going to be there in the next elections.
Then we'll start from there. I don't think it would be fair to follow someone probably from a prayer mountain and say come and speak to a debate, because
how about members of his political party?
They were there. I saw Honorable Charles Moy actually contributing from the CCC. So
that means at least he's represented.
Yes, he's represented. I think let's not petty politics. We need to focus on the broader picture.